Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you again, or have you see me again. We're doing our Monday morning story time at the Lunenburg Public Library. And if you are able to be here today, we would be outside on the patio. We're hoping that we'll have a nice, long, mild fall so we can have our get-togethers outside where it's safe. So before we get started today, I don't know if you remember our friend from last time, Mr. Fresco. This is our Al Fresco story time. So let me bring him out again because I'm sure that he's ready to say buongiorno to everyone. Oh, Mr. Fresco, you're kind of stuck in there today. You have these lovely big eyes. They keep getting stuck. Ah, buongiorno, buongiorno. Well, good morning to you, Mr. Fresco. It's nice to see you again. I'm glad you could be here. Would you like to join us for story time? Oh, see. All right, well, I'll put you right down over here and you can watch what we do. And I noticed when I went to take Mr. Fresco out that Al brought us some more Italian words in our special little bag. This is, again, our Il Vocabolo Italiano, so our Italian vocabulary. Now today we're going to be talking about fall and fall leaves. So let's see. Oh, our first word that he is introducing us to is autunno, which is the Italian word for autumn. Autunno. Can you try that? Autunno. It looks like there's another one in here. And in autunno, the leaves turn color. So the Italian word for leaves, according to Mr. Fresco here, is la foglia. La foglia. And these are some beautifully colored la foglia. So there's those two. Two more words. Remember last week we did the color words? Well, now we have a couple more words that we've learned in Italian. Or at least been introduced to. Well, hopefully you remember them. Now before we get started with our story time, let's start with our song. Do you remember last time we did the song and I taught you some sign language to go along with it? So let's just go over that first. It's hello, your hand just like this up to your forehead, hello. Friend, crook finger, one on top of the other. And the word for the sign for friend is both ways, friend. So it's hello, friend. It's time, just tap your wrist, to say hello. Very, very simple. All right, shall we try it? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. And song, I forgot the sign for song. This is our welcome song. So good job, everybody. That's kind of fun to do. All right, so the first, I have a really cute story to share with you today. The first one we're going to look at is called There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed Some Leaves. This story was written by Lucille Calandro, and Jared Lee drew the pictures for us. Let's see what happens with this story. Do you remember There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly? This is the same format. This poor old lady has swallowed lots of things. It goes like this. There was an old lady who swallowed some leaves. I don't know why she swallowed those leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. That is indeed a lot of leaves that she's swallowing. Yikes. So now there was an old lady who swallowed a shirt. It didn't hurt to swallow that shirt. And she swallowed the shirt to fill it with leaves. And I don't know why she swallowed the leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. Oh, goodness. You have to open your mouth wide for this one. Wow. Can you see what she swallowed next? Look at the size of that pumpkin. There was an old lady who swallowed a pumpkin. She wasn't a bumpkin to swallow that pumpkin. Oh no, I think the jury's out on that one. She actually swallowed the pumpkin to wear the shirt, and she swallowed the shirt to fill it with leaves. I don't know why she swallowed the leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. There she goes. There was an old lady who swallowed a pole. She was on a roll when she swallowed that pole. Oh my goodness, it doesn't look like it will even fit down her throat. All right, let's see. She swallowed the pole to prop up the pumpkin, and she swallowed the pumpkin to wear the shirt, and she swallowed the shirt, do you remember why? To fill it with leaves. But I don't know why she swallowed those leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. Guess she hasn't done that yet. Pair of pants now. There was an old lady who swallowed some pants. She started to dance when she swallowed those pants. Think of any reason why she'd swallow those pants? I don't know. Let's find out. She swallowed the pants to cover the pole. She swallowed the pole to prop up the pumpkin. And she swallowed the pumpkin to wear the shirt. And she swallowed the shirt to fill it with leaves. But I don't know why she swallowed the leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. Oh my goodness, look at all the stuff down in her tummy now. Do you remember what was first? First was the leaves. Then, the pumpkin. No, that's not right. First the leaves, then the shirt, right? Then the pumpkin, then the pole, then the pants. So far so good. We're keeping up with it. There was an old lady who swallowed a rope. She didn't mope when she swallowed that rope. Looks like her pal is playing with the rope as well. Might make it a little difficult to swallow. She swallowed the rope to tie up the pants. Okay. And she swallowed the pants to cover the pole. And she swallowed the pole to prop up the pumpkin. She swallowed the pumpkin to wear the shirt. And she swallowed the shirt to fill it with leaves. Isn't that a great picture? But I still don't know why she swallowed those leaves. Perhaps she'll sneeze. There was an old lady who swallowed some hay. She didn't say why she swallowed that hay. She looks happy about it though. But she did it with ease, and then she started to sneeze. Achoo! Oh my goodness. That is one big sneeze, and here comes everything back out of her stomach. Yuck. Now, if you have some leaves and a shirt and some pants and a pumpkin and a rope and a pole, what do you suppose that's going to become? Do you have any idea? I bet you do by now. Let's see what she decides to do with all of that. Oh, and there it is. Did you guess? She made a scarecrow. Yep. Happy fall, she says. That was kind of a silly story, wasn't it? That lady, she's amazing. All right, over there. Now, something I want to show you. We're talking about fall today. How to, no? So in the fall, lots of things happen. For example, they start to get colder. And very often in the fall, you'll have those very nice, cool evenings, and it'll warm up beautifully during the day, kind of like today. Let's see, what else happens in the fall? The days get shorter. That's a little bit, I don't really like that, but you know, it's part of the seasons. So the days get shorter, they get cooler. And another thing that happens is the leaves on the trees start to turn color. I have something interesting to tell you about that. The colors on the leaves, and to be honest with you, what happened is, it's a little early for fall leaves to start appearing. So I wasn't able to find a whole lot of colored leaves, but I did find these. Do you know what kind these are? Almost looks like a little hand with all these little pointy things coming out. This is a maple leaf, and you can see these indeed are starting to turn colors. Let's just take, here, I'll take a bigger one off. This is maple. Looks like that. And the color that you're seeing on here, the red color, has actually been on this leaf the whole time. It was always red underneath, or yellow, or golden, or orange. But what happens is while the leaf is growing and it's creating food for itself called chlorophyll, which is green, the leaf gets covered up. So the chlorophyll keeps the leaf looking green, and then when the chlorophyll stops being produced because it's too cold, the true leaves, colors of the leaf come out. This is maple. And that goes right on there. And maple trees are one of my favorite. First of all, their leaves are very pretty and they turn gorgeous colors in the fall. But this is also the tree that you tap to get that wonderful sap you turn into maple syrup. Yum. So that's a maple leaf from a maple tree. All right, you see lots of those around New England, certainly lots in Lunenburg. Another one is this one. Take another one off here so it's a little easier to see. This is an oak leaf. Okay, lots of little spiny things, and there are lots of varieties of oak trees here in New England, and certainly here in Lunenburg. So that's that one, I think. That might be the white oak, but I'm not sure. So that's an oak leaf, and if you notice this time of year, you'll see lots of these guys on the ground. Whoops, there's one on the ground right now. This is an acorn, and animals, lots of animals like to gather these, the squirrels and the chipmunks, and store them away, and this becomes their food for the winter. And the acorn actually has, grab this one down here, two parts. So this is the bottom part, and then it has a little top on it called the acorn cap. Isn't that cute? Acorns are really, good job, Mother Nature. That's really cute. So those are the acorns that come from oak trees. All right, and then a tree that I have around my house that I personally love, so beautiful, is a birch tree. And you know it's a birch tree because it has this very interesting bark. Here's a piece of a birch tree that came down in my yard a few years ago. And the bark of the birch tree is white, so it's very pretty, and it's very papery. So you can actually, if you can peel off big pieces, you can write little messages on it. This is from a birch tree, and this is what a birch leaf looks like. Looks just like that. Lots and lots of those little pointy things on this one. I'm going to move you over now just a little bit so that my friends can see, and you can also see. Let's turn you so you can see. Keep an eye on my chart for me. How's that? Is that a little better? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these leaves, and we're going to kind of sort them out a little bit. And this is our chart, and it tells you what we're going to do. We're going to do some leaf sorting. That means we're going to take some of our leaves, and we're going to mix them up a little bit, and then we're going to sort and see what we have. All right, so put this right on here, mix them up a little bit. All right, so if I pull this one out, looks like this. Which one of these? Well, it's not red and green. It's a nice bright green. Does that look the same? It does. So that one is, do you remember, the oak. All right, let's pick another one. Oh, this one is red and green. And if you look at the leaves up here, is it this one? Nope. Nope. Oh, that looks the same. There's our maple leaf. And how about this one? Lots and lots of little spiky things on it. Let's see. Well, it's shaped kind of similarly to that one, but not the same color. Doesn't look at all like that one, but it does look almost exactly like that one. Same size and everything. That's our birch leaf. How about this one? Same or different? This one's the same. Okay, oh, I found another one of these. Okay, this is such a pretty green color. Same, same. Do you remember what this one is? That's the oak. So now we have how many? One maple leaf in our pile here. We have 2 oak leaves and 2 birch leaves. Let's see what's left. Oh, another one of these red and green ones, the maple. Let's see, where should we put that? No. Oh, I think that's right. So now, 2, 2, and 2, they're all the same. Except I found, another one of these maple leaves. That one on here. Now how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 3 maple leaves. I have 1 leaf left. Yep. It's the birch. Birch leaves are all very similar in size. So let's see, we have 2 of these leaves that we have the same number. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. These 2 are the same. So we have the same number of maple leaves as birch leaves. And then we only had 2 of the oak leaves. 2 on those. 2 the same, 1 different. Okay. All right. So I have one more story to share with you today, and then I have, I want to show you what your take-home craft is for today. I'll show you how to do it. It's a real simple one, but it's pretty. So the next story I'm going to share with you today is called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. That's what happens to the leaves in the fall. Once they start to turn color, that means that they're no longer getting the nutrients they need, the food that they need to stay alive. So they dry up and then they fall off onto the ground, and it's kind of fun to play in them. But and so they'll stay on the ground, and actually oftentimes the leaves will break down and go back into the soil and make the soil nice and rich. And then in the springtime, the tree will grow new leaves. It's a great cycle. Let's see what happens with our friend Fletcher. Oh, I'm sorry. Julia Rawlinson wrote this book, and Tiffany Beak, that's a nice name, Tiffany Beak, she drew these pictures. The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of his den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft, swishing sound of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull and dry and brown. Oh dear, it is turning brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. He thought there was something wrong with the tree. Oh, I think my tree is sick, said Fletcher. Oh no, what's wrong with it? His mother asked. Well, its leaves are turning brown, said Fletcher. Oh, don't worry about that. It's only autumn, she said. Or, how to know? Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. Don't worry, it's only autumn, he said. You'll be feeling better soon. Oh, I love the colors on these pages. But the tree didn't get better. Each day, more leaves turned brown, and one morning the wind blew a small brown leaf off of a branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paws. Do you see Fletcher trying to catch that leaf? There he is, right there. Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you. Fletcher looked around, picked a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to the branch. That was a pretty clever idea. Oh no, just then another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. "Now, you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." And the little leaf gave a tiny little rustle in reply. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Tons of branches were bare and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Oh, don't worry, tree, I'll catch them for you, I promise." So round and round and round whirled Fletcher after the swirling leaves. Oh my, do you think he can catch them all? I don't know. It's quite an undertaking. "Oh, leaves, wonderful, just what I need for my nest," said a squirrel. But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "Well, the tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bounding off. "Help, help, the wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. "Leaves? Terrific, just what I need to keep warm," said a porcupine, and he's rolling around in the leaves. "But those belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking the leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not anymore," snuffled the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help, help, the wind and the squirrel and the porcupine are stealing our leaves," said Fletcher. Oh, look at this picture. Suddenly, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them back on the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down, and smiled. "Ah, thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky, and he drifted off to sleep. He had been working really hard. And there's our friend Fletcher having a rest. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced, and the leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wriggle free. They tossed and turned and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with a whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were the bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I'm so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw, high in the branches, one small leaf still holding on. Do you see it? Yep, right there. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher, and he began to climb. And he crawled along to the last leaf and held firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew and the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't you worry." But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high, and with a blip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag, clutched in Fletcher's paw, so the last leaf has come off the tree. What do you think Fletcher's going to do now? Oh dear. Oh goodness. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf that he had promised to save. So he carried it back down the tree and back to the den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in. But all night he could only think of his tree all on its own. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky and the pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. Are you ready for it? Oh, this is amazing. This is a beautiful page. The tree was hung with thousands of icicles, shining silver in the light. "Oh, you are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are Are you all right? A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug. Then he went back to the den for a nice warm breakfast. Oh, I would love to have been able to see that tree. Do you remember, you know what's going to happen next? Probably some snow on the ground for a very long time. And then in the springtime, new leaves will start to grow on the tree. So you just hang in there and wait, Fletcher. They'll come back. Isn't that a nice story? I love that one. Okay, so I want to show you now what your craft is for this week. And if you call the library or email me here at the library, you'll be able to take home a kit that looks like this. And in the kit, there are directions for what I'm going to show you, and some pretty fall leaves and a plate. We're going to make a fall wreath. And in the middle of the wreath, there's a poem that goes in there. So let me just show you how this looks. So I took my paper plate, and I actually took a crayon and I colored it. And there's a kind of an interesting way you can do this. I have these nice little chubby crayons, but if you have just regular crayons, you can take the paper off, and then you hold it like that between these fingers and your thumb on the side, and you have to pinch it kind of tight. And if you hold it on its side and rub, it will color in your paper very fast. Now you don't have to do this part. This is just if you want to, because we're going to be covering that up. But I decided to make my wreath, start my wreath off being brown. Now, in the middle of our fall wreath, which would be nice to hang on the fridge, nice fridge art, we have a poem. And it goes like this: autumn leaves. Autumn leaves are falling down, red and yellow and green and brown. So, first step, after you color it, if you decide to, is to cut it out. So there's a line right around the outside. I don't know if you can see me doing this. Just gonna cut it like this. And what kind, I turned that rectangle shape into a, do you know what that is? A circle. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some glue on it, and we're gonna put this right in the middle, okay? I'm done with these, so I'll just put these off to the side. I bet you wish you had one of these. That is a cool glue stick. Glue on the back. That. There's to turn it over like that. So now my wreath is starting to come together. It looks like this. My poem is in the middle. Now what we're going to do, oops, I actually do need my glue again. We're going to decorate the outside with some fall leaves. Now, if you wanted to, there's some leaves in your bag, but if you wanted to, you could go out and pick some real leaves. But I'm just going to put that like that, and I will add a red leaf and a yellow. And how about a nice green leaf? Not quite the same type, but it's an oak leaf. And the other color we had was brown. You remember, after they stay on the tree for a while, they start to turn brown. And then I have one last red one, that one right up here. All right. Now I have to say, this is some fancy looking refrigerator art. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Looks like that. And if you had real fall leaves, it would be really pretty too. Same process, just put a little glue on them. And there they are. So again, if this is something you'd like to try, you can come to Storytime and pick up a kit, or just let me know that you want one, and we'll get one to you. Okay? So thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed our story time for today, and I'll see you next time.